Welcome back to From House to Home.
And welcome back. Today we're talking with Tyson Hintz and Angie Knutson of Eagle Home Mortgage out of Moses Lake. And we're getting some great tips for first-time home buyers. Tyson, why don't we start with you? What does qualify as a first-time home buyer?
Well, the technical term for a first-time home buyer is someone who has not had ownership interest in the previous 3 years. There are many programs out there available that you can qualify as a first-time home buyer as long as you do not currently have ownership interest in a property. One of those programs being USDA. You can have one USDA loan program at a time. That's it.
And that's U.S. Department of
Agriculture? U.S. Department of Agriculture, correct.
Okay.
The other one that we see utilized quite a bit for first-time home buyers is FHA. FHA program, you can only have one FHA loan at a time. Now, we've had a situation in the past with a borrower who had an FHA loan in Idaho and moved to Moses Lake. Now, FHA will allow more than one FHA loan at a time if you are relocating or reestablishing residence in another area that does not have a close commuting distance. So it does have to be typically more than 50 miles is what they want to see as far as a commuting distance. So it is possible to have more than one FHA loan at a time.
And what other types of financing are available for first-time home buyers?
For first-time home buyers, they can basically do any type of financing that's open up to anybody else. So they can go conventional, they can go FHA, USDA, VA. On the conventional side, they can go as little as 3% down. Typically, we'll see 5% down. Under FHA, that's a 3.5% down product. USDA and VA are both 100% financing.
So 0% down.
Correct. There is a state bond program out there available for the first-time home buyers, and this is no current ownership interest in a property. Now, the USDA Down Payment Assistance Program will allow up to 4% to be used towards closing costs or your down payment. And they use that interchangeably. So, for example, on a 3.5% down FHA loan product, you can use that 3.5% down for your down payment, and then the additional 0.5 point or 0.5% to be able to use that for your closing costs. Now, the Down Payment Assistance Program is a second loan product that does not accrue interest during the life of the loan, but it is payable after 30 years if you refinance, if you transfer the title. So if you do anything with the property as far as different financing, you do have to pay that product back, or you do have to pay that balance back at that time.
I see. Okay. Now you just mentioned closing costs. Can I have you talk a little bit more about what is included in closing costs?
So closing costs, you'll see typically a 1% origination, a processing fee, a tax service fee, title and escrow fees. This is a little bit different than what you'll see is brought up as far as prepaids. Now, prepaids are going to be your homeowner's insurance, your taxes, and the interest that's been accrued throughout that month, depending on which day of the month you close on. In a purchase and sale agreement, you will see typically you'll ask a seller to help pay for closing costs, depending on which loan product you're in. Let's say you go USDA, VA, or FHA, you can ask up to 6% to be helped for your closing costs under those programs. Conventionals usually right around 3%. Of that 3%, they'll say closing costs in there on your purchase and sale agreement, but that'll also mean your prepaids also. So that can be used towards your homeowner's insurance, which on a new purchase, they'll have to collect at least a 12-month reserve for your escrow account for homeowner's insurance, plus an additional 2 to 3 months in reserves on that. So you're looking at anywhere between 14 and 15 months worth of reserves on your homeowner's insurance. Taxes can range anywhere between 2 months up to 8 months as far as taxes are concerned. So your prepaids can run pretty high. So it's always a good idea to have that seller help you out as far as closing costs and prepaids are concerned.
Wow, okay. Now, another term you hear all the time is debt to income ratio. Can you talk a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, debt to income ratio, or DTI as we call it, is basically a simple math problem. Your numerator is going to be all your debt payments. So what I mean by debt payments are your long-term liabilities. This is going to be your car insurance, or not car insurance, sorry, your car payment if you do have one, your student loans, your credit card payments, not what you pay monthly on those, but your minimum monthly payment on those. So we'll use those debts plus your proposed housing expense. So let's say you have $500 in monthly debt plus an additional $1,000, let's say, for your new home. So we'll group that together as far as $1,500 as your numerator. Now your denominator in that equation is going to be your gross monthly income. Now gross monthly income is before taxes. This is also any co-borrower's gross monthly income if you have them on your loan with you. It can also be, if you have rental properties, the gross amount of income that you receive from those is added on top of your gross monthly income. So a simple mathematical problem for you. Most programs you're going to want to see anywhere between 41 and 45% debt to income. So just a quick math problem. If you have a total of $2,250 as far as total monthly payments, total liabilities, plus your proposed monthly expenses or housing expense, you're going to divide that by, let's say your gross monthly income is $5,000. That's going to give you a debt to income ratio of 45%. That's where you need to be.
All right, debt divided by income.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a math problem we could all do at home. So,
yes.
All right. Tyson, thank you. We do need to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk with Tyson and Angie of Eagle Home Mortgage again about purchasing foreclosed homes.
You're watching From House to Home. We'll be right back.